Hello there! Are you looking for something spooky to make for Halloween or a Halloween party? Well, you can make this stapled mouth with real staplers. Enjoy! The first thing you will do for achieving this mouth is that you will draw a line through the parts where your mouth ends and upwards. Just kind of follow where you can feel your teeth. Make them as even as possible. As you can see, I've got one line here and one line there. Those will be our dining marks. The next step are to take this, it's liquid latex, and I prefer pouring a bit of it on this one. Just a regular piece of paper. You don't need very much, but you need a bit, and then you're going to draw where you've been already making the first mark. And this particular substance that I'm using, liquid latex, it does smell a bit, so just so that you be prepared for it. So this will be our first layer, and you will have to do at least, I would say about 2 layers, that you get this place between the latex and your skin, so you can actually pull it apart and make it truly look like pulled apart and stapled together again. As you can see, it dries pretty quickly, and when it's come to this state, you can actually put the next layer on. Kind of the same thickness, and this it goes all the way like the last one. And you can make these edges a bit neater by dabbing them a bit with the same Q-tip. I'll just need it to dry, and I'll be back soon. So when you come to this state, we can see that these are transparent, and you can't clearly see them, only it's a bit shiny. Then you can start with the next part of it. And then you're going to take a safety pin, or you can take a tweezer. It's really up to you whether or not you're using the tweezer or the safety pin. I'm using the safety pin because I think it's a lot easier, but that's really up to the individual, so to say. And you're just going to take it, and I'm not hurting myself by doing this. You're only putting it into the liquid latex and just dragging it. And as you're dragging it, you can see that you get this kind of hollow area. That will be a skull later on. And you can choose how far back you want to go. I'm going quite far back because I want a lot of stitches at my open mouth, kind of. And then you're just going to take the next side and do the same thing again. So, as you can see now, I've got these, which will be our base. Now it's time for makeup, and you want, when you're going to do the base on this one, I would say to actually just use a regular red lipstick and a Q-tip, because then you can actually paint inside scarf. Depending on whether or not you got a good small pencil, you can use that one. I don't have that, so I'm using this one. Now we're going to take the next color, if you want to create a depth in the scar, and then you're going to have a bit deeper color. This might be the color that you want to use, or if you want to use a new darker color, you can do that. It really just depends on how you want to create your scar. Like that. Now it's time for the part where you're gonna create the shadows. And then you need to take a brush, either one of these. I would suggest one of these, and just take some brown. Let's see if you can see this one. Yeah, great. Just take some brown, any brown color, depending on your skin tone. So I'm gonna use just a bit darker than my skin tone, and remember that you've actually been like pulled apart, so it's gonna make all the difference if you do a bit of shadowing. As you can see, I'm making it quite dark, so I'm really scarred. But that's because you will need that later on, and you will fade it out a bit with your fingers. I think it's easier this way than making it with a brush, because with the finger you got a lot more control. Yeah, as you can see. So this is how it should look this far. And now it's time for the staplers. And when you're gonna put on the staplers, you're gonna take, let's see if I can get one teeny tiny stapler, and you can just use a bit of liquid latex and put it where you want it, and then it should stick quite nicely. As you can see, it's white right now, but it will turn transparent when it's dark. And now for these part of the mouth, you can do it while these dry, as long as you're careful, and you need to push them in once in a while so that they really stick. I would tell you to use some kind of deep lipstick, purely because it blends in better. Make a bit of a dark shadow, like they've been torn a bit. Now we're going to start working on these. For those, to blend them in and to make them look kind of like they've been stuck on, you need to paint a bit of a shadow by them. Now you're going to take your brush, round, have it on in a similar way. And remember to shadow this a bit. You can drag it with your finger to make it more natural and less stiff. Otherwise it can get really stiff. So now we should be at this step. As you can see, you've got the scarf ready and the staplers ready. So now it's time for fake blood. And I'm using this fake blood. Now you're just going to take this and dab it in. you've been slashed open, so you should have some blood here, and also at the scars or marks from this, and those are gonna fade out with the other side. It should look kind of like this at the end. And you can add more fake blood if you want. You can have it like running, or if you want to have it in any other way or direction. This is without the mouth, by the way, and if you're gonna do the mouth, you just need to take a bit of this. These are gonna be your guide marks when you're gonna do this. I should have done it earlier, I can admit. And